Coming up on the I'm a Car Chick podcast with guest Yossi Levi.
Dealers don't want more tools. They don't want more platforms. They don't want more front ends. You have to think of every platform as an obstruction to someone getting what they want. I need to limit the amount I ask dealers to log into another system. The more you can integrate into their current platforms and be behind the scenes and just make shit happen, the better off you'll be and the higher likelihood of success. Because people are tired. There's just too much out there. We scaled the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
And we launched in the last 3 months 50 group chats. So you see like on my phone, there's these like,
oh my goodness.
you see I'm scrolling away here? There's like a lot of group chats happening.
Good God.
Our unique currency at Car Dealership Guy is that dealers trust us. There's a lot of companies that I see in our chats that are just, I say trending.
Yeah.
Here, let's have some fun.
Revving up the auto industry, one conversation at a time. Featuring industry leaders, auto experts, and trailblazers. We are bringing you unfiltered interviews highlighting the voices all around the industry. Let's cut through the noise. Join us. Let's light it up together. Hosted by Shasta Haddock. This is I'm a Car Chick podcast.
We're live.
Welcome back to another episode of the I'm a Car Chick podcast, live from NADA 2026 here in Las Vegas with Authenticom. And, we had so much fun last year that I had to beg and plead for Yossi to come back on the show this year. So welcome back to the show. Thank you so much.
You didn't. How's the podcast been for the past year?
It's been good. It's all the hecticness of running a podcast and all that stuff. Obviously, you've got a massive following, and so it's so much fun. It's getting to talk to people from all different walks of life in the automotive space, the people that are here, just making sure that we get the good voices out, share the good news about the automotive industry.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I've loved having you here. I can't tell you how much I wanted to bring you a Rubik's Cube because you sold me last year.
Did we talk about that last year?
We did. You told me you could do it in like a minute and a half, and I was like, I want to test this bad. I didn't bring one. I should have. Gosh, I thought about it though. I want to jump right in. I know you have a very tight schedule, so I want to make sure that we stay on time as much as possible. You're known for sharing very specific insights about the car business, very specific. How important is data accuracy when you're forming opinions you're willing to put your name and brand behind because you worked so hard on it?
Are you referring to it fell. Are you saying when we share data?
Yeah,
ourselves?
When you guys are sharing industry insights, I mean, you grew so fast just being the guy who was on top of those insights.
Yeah. Well, when we started, everything we shared was very pulse and anecdote based. And we weren't a media company yet. We were sharing, some people called us the gossip girl of automotive. It's kind of funny. And over time, as we evolved, we realized that we can elevate the type of insights we offer to dealers in the community by mixing that up with hard data and pulse from the actual dealers, which was really the first big thing that we put out to the world, right? The pulse of the dealer. So it's become incredibly important. And I would say that's making sure that we share what is really happening is the reason we're credible. And we can really provide dealers a signal to where the market is headed so that they can adjust and thrive in that transition.
Yeah. Well, and I think that something that you didn't have last year that you have now that really plays a big part of that is your circles. So that blew up super fast. Jay and I were talking about the other day, but I've been watching that happen as the newsletters go out. I'm not a dealer, so I don't get to be a part of it, but been watching that kind of play out and how that's been going. And I mean, you have literally first party data as far as what these dealers are saying, what they're saying to each other, how they're helping each other, the questions they're asking. How much more insightful has that been for you?
Circles is our modern peer group for car dealers, and it's been an incredible case study. I'll share right now what's happened. By the way, there is a solution for industry partners and vendors that's coming out in about 3 to 4 weeks, so stay tuned for that. I think you'll like that. It's something very unique where you can actually see what is being said about your brand.
That's amazing.
And respond to it and stuff like that. So the cool thing about what we've kind of unlocked with this, circles, whatever you want to call it, but it started as just dealer group chats, literally phone group chats. We did this with 20 top dealers in the country and it just took off.
Yeah.
And then we had other dealers that heard about it and we posted about it and they're like, hey, we want to be in this as well. So we said, huh.
And we might be onto something here.
Yeah, and so we literally just did what we do, which is we scaled the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
And we launched in the last 3 months 50 group chats. So I'll show you right now. This is pretty cool. But here, one sec. So you see, like on my phone, there's these like.
Oh my goodness.
You see, I'm scrolling away here. There's like a lot of group chats happening.
Good golly.
And some of them are topic based. Some of them are, OEM based. The bottom line, though, is what we've discovered is that our unique currency at Car Dealership Guy is that dealers trust us.
Yeah.
Many companies have distribution, they have data, but dealers actually trust us. And because they trust us, they're willing to share real stuff in that group chat. And so it's been very valuable for dealers because, we say this complements like the traditional 20 group. Because typically a dealer would go to a 20 group every 3 months, and that's where they would get their information. That's where they would kind of store all their challenges and problems, and they would problem solve it there. Now, you have a forum where you can get real-time insights on the spot. You might be considering a vendor. Who knows what you may be going through, but you need an insight from a dealer who gets what you're going through,
right,
and you can get it right on the spot. So it's been incredibly powerful, and we've already aggregated over 1,500 vendor reviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to talk about the dealer numbers too. So you've got 1,000 active dealers, right, between all the circles, and more than 4,000 who have applied to be a part of it. What is the thing that you're hearing most consistently from those dealers right now? Like, what's the trending topic? I'm going to assume it's AI or some form of AI, but what are they talking about? What are they asking?
So it changes every week, and we actually send our members a recap on a weekly basis of what the topics are and what's the most important. I could tell you that in big part right now, every dealer is going through this technological transition, and people are trying to figure their way out. Like what's good for me, what's good for my dealership, what should I be implementing?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, we could get more specific, and I could literally pull up a report. But I would say primarily there's a lot of technology discussion. And as always, there's the classic, like, people are thinking of implementing a dealer-owned warranty company or a dealer-owned finance company and other, business stuff like that. But the technology is the part that's extremely opaque, and that dealers, they're trying to find their way around of what is right for my dealership so that I can, as I mentioned, thrive in this, next decade as the dealership really is going to meaningfully change because of AI.
Yeah. Well, and I want to know, has being that close to dealer conversations, and I know that you've been a dealer in the past, but in today's day and age, has being that close to dealer conversations changed or challenged any assumption you had about what dealers actually need versus what the industry thinks they need?
I would say somewhat. It's clear that dealers don't want more tools. They don't want more platforms. They don't want more front ends, right? They want more capabilities, but they want it done for them, rightfully so. You have to think of every platform as an obstruction to someone getting what they want. Right. And so what that means is that if I am a new, AI voice tool or text tool or whatever, I need to limit the amount I ask dealers to log into another system, right? The more you can integrate into their current platforms and be behind the scenes and just make shit happen without me having to log into another place.
Seriously.
The better off you'll be and the higher likelihood of success, because people are tired. There's just too much out there.
Yeah. Well, I got the headache of that when we were when we were heavy in the outsourced BDC space, and the AI chat tool or the CRM or the OEM logins. You had 7 different logins for one store just as the BDC manager, and so I'm like, I can't even imagine what problem. These GMs, these sales managers, like what they're all having to log into. They're not going to remember where to log in to get what. It's that alone is such a big problem, that everything has its own separate login or own separate dashboard, that everything needs to start communicating.
And you don't have time to do your job.
Exactly, because you've got to track all this stuff down.
Correct.
When dealers tell you that they feel overwhelmed, whether by vendors, data, or decisions, which plays into what we were just talking about, what do you usually find is the root issue?
When they tell me they feel overwhelmed, I think it comes down to lacking some knowledge in a domain. So typically when I see frustration, it's typically either they don't understand something yet, rightfully so, whether it be something new for their dealership, a new integration that they're trying to integrate to make their dealership more efficient, but they just don't fully get it, or...
This special NADA 2026 episode is sponsored by Authenticom. Authenticom. Connect once, we handle the rest.
I would say the alternative to that is if they are working with a partner and the service is not fully baked. That's a big source of frustration. And that really, I mean, rightfully so, it really bothers many dealers. And I think because of this AI gold rush, you've seen a lot of that. You've seen a lot of these, smaller companies, not all obviously, but some companies out there go and they sell something to dealers, it's not ready.
Yeah.
And, the dealer is frustrated, right? Like, this is hindering my performance in store now. If I'm going to, leverage a new piece of technology, it needs to make me better and more efficient.
What's one of those? And this was not a planned question, so I'm going to stumble my way through this. What's one of those products or tools out there that either you've used on the dealer side or you've seen used that is just a company that you'll cleanly endorse? Not sponsorship, anything like that. That you're just like, these are really good people and you should work with them.
I mean, candidly, there's a lot. And there's a lot of companies that I see in our chats that are just, I say trending.
Yeah.
Here, let's have some fun. So if we pull
We're going
up,
to do a live look right now. I love this.
I mean, if we pull up cdgpulse.com, it's in beta right now. This is our vendor review site where we aggregate all the comments and all the sentiment, and we put it in here for the dealers to access. All right, one sec. So let's see who's trending. So what we do is every day we actually show you the trending vendors based on conversation. Mm-hmm. So you can see like what's being talked about, why are they being talked about, what are they doing for dealers and whatnot. So it's loading super slow right now, but I can tell you, so from last night, what was trending, I saw several names. I saw, there we go. So this is from this morning. So Meta, so they're probably discussing some social media marketing. Vin Solutions, so it's literally trending here. You see Vin Solutions.
That's funny.
Right? Accessa. Is that NCM? I think that's NCM.
Maybe.
Yeah. Last night we had Podium. We had Volley. So yeah, I mean, isn't that crazy? Like it's almost like Twitter for dealers. You can see in real time what is being discussed.
That's awesome. That's such good insights to have.
And this is refreshed the trending is refreshed, I believe, every like 12 hours or 24 hours based on conversation volume. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that tool in there, and for the
cool?
vendors to be able to see that and the dealers to be able to see that. And I'm wondering how it's changing with the dealers being here, like the ones who are here, and what they're talking about based on what they've seen, the presentations they've seen, so on and so forth.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because what you do is when you click on that name, you can actually see what they're discussing.
That's awesome.
Right?
I'm
Again,
excited
fully
for that.
anonymized and fully confidential. You can't, tell who it is.
This dealer said this.
Yeah, but it just takes, it parses out the meat and potatoes, and it gives you the punch, right?
I love this.
So hypothetically, if a vendor was like down right now and everyone was discussing that vendor, that would show up as a warning or something like, hey, this vendor is down.
Yeah, we need to do something about this.
Yeah, and that would bubble up to the top.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to kind of switch topics a little bit. I love the circles thing. Something that you have always been very vocal about and always at the forefront of the news sector about is Carvana. So there's been a lot of conversation around Carvana. You've talked so much about it. But stepping into the franchise space and acquiring dealerships, what do you think the signals for the future of traditional dealer groups, and what should dealers be paying attention to right now with these changes?
I think dealers are definitely paying attention to it. It's a big topic of discussion in circles consistently. I think the sentiment is that Carvana will go after more franchises that are beyond just Stellantis.
Isn't it weird how they're kind of focused on Stellantis? I've paid attention to that too.
I think it's smart. They have it in their Stellantis stores and higher volume of stores. They can get them at a good price.
Yeah.
So I think there's good reason for. Like, you can't just go to a Toyota and get that type of treatment,
right.
So they're going where they need to. And, I mean, they're getting the benefit, right? They're getting the franchise. And so I think that the most important thing is to be introspective, in my opinion. Like, the industry is going to do what the industry needs to do, meaning, NADA, and when it comes to, from a legal perspective and regulatory, that things will happen.
Yeah.
But I think what's important is that dealers are introspective and say, okay, what can I do to elevate my experience in store? Because at the end of the day, right, who's got a better mousetrap? Can you create a customer experience so that people do want to shop with you? and that it's, at parity or better than your competition. So I think you just really need to ask yourself, cool, Carvana might open up down the street from me. I know several dealers who have a Carvana store across the street, but what can you do to deliver a better experience than that?
Exactly. Because that was our hot topic yesterday. Was it kept coming back to customer experience, the human connection. In a world of AI, we're dying for that human connection, and so I think that it's important that we maintain that and give them the best guest and customer experience that we can.
Yeah, I actually think that's a really good place where dealers can compete, which is when I thought about myself when I bought my car recently I bought a Lexus.
That's got to be such a tough decision for you, where to buy a car.
It is, but it isn't. You let my wife make the decision. So, well, I went to a Lexus dealer, and the treatment I received, they didn't know. I didn't tell them anything. It was done remotely and stuff like that. But it was so good and personal, and it was done through text message. The point I'm trying to make is I can't get that experience from a big box store. So to me, the dealer leaned into what I call it the non-scalable. And that, captured my business, and I would go back to them because the experience was so easy and just so amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome that you were able to do that and have that good experience where going in store would be completely different for you.
They just worked with me. I wanted to do it through text message and a couple phone calls, and they did. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Well, and you have so much insight that, I know you said your wife was heavily involved in that, but you know everything almost about every brand, every dealer group out there. So I would say, especially close to you, what part did you play in that? I know that you said she played a big part in that, but what part did you play in that in saying, yeah, we will do this, we won't do that?
No, in personal decisions, a lot of it is just preference. Lexus is super reliable. It's not
backed by Toyota too.
Yeah, it's not too bougie, right? It's not you're rolling up in an X6 or something.
Exactly.
It's kind of more low key, Yeah. It's so
affordable luxury.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's clean. It's simple. I don't know. It's nice.
Yeah.
So
So you like the Lexus then?
Love it.
Good.
TX, yeah.
Good. Since the last time we spoke, CDG has expanded significantly, including your guys' live shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What role
There's
do those?
Sam right there.
I know. You guys can't see it, but Sam's right behind the camera, and Jay. Hi. What role do those live conversations play in keeping you connected to what's actually happening in real time?
That's a really important question, and they play an incredible role because if you think about it, we're communicating and interviewing dealers 11, 12 times a week.
That's insane.
And so we have this incredible pulse on what's happening in the industry. We take that content and we translate it into articles, into many more things throughout our ecosystem.
Newsletters.
We're Google syndicated, so everything goes, next to your Wall Street journals and Google News and New York Times. And so it plays an incredible role, and it just improves our entire content pipeline. We're able to see, have a better pulse on the industry and share more real-time insights. You have to think about our platform where Daily Dealer Live, our live show is our fast content, right? If something happened today, they'll be on tomorrow.
Yep.
And our podcast is our slow content, right? I have people that text me about watching a podcast that we recorded a year ago,
It's and it's evergreen content. It just lives out there all the time, and
Correct.
It's always good data. What has surprised you the most about how the audience engages with the live content versus long form or written insights, which is exactly perfect transition to what we were just talking about?
So what surprised me the most, or maybe not surprised me, but what I've learned is that most people don't listen live.
No.
I mean, think about it. Yes, there's many people that put it on in their dealerships and it's in the background, almost like CNBC when it's live. But the majority of the people actually consume the content in the way that's best for them, which might be in the newsletter, which might be through an article, which might be after the recording is live and on the podcast.
Yeah.
So everyone has different consumption behavior, and you have to meet the audience where they're at.
Yeah.
I am not here to dictate to them how they should watch or view or anything.
Well, and that's the great thing about you guys is that you hit literally every facet of where they could consume information.
Every property.
Emails, newsletters, live,
yeah,
LinkedIn.
because you learn that everyone is different, and you need to make sure.
Busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Busy industry.
So, but the live, you know what really good about live, that it creates a different type of experience on air. Everything is more fast paced. It's organic. It's real. And so even if most of your listeners are not tuning in live, you're recording it live, and that adds to the effect.
Yeah. I know that you focus a lot. I know you have a lot of arms of the company. You've grown so much in the past year, adding so many different facets. But your heart and soul is with the media and the content. That's your baby. How do you ensure that as CDG scales, the signal doesn't get lost in the noise?
I think with a good team, we have scaled a lot and we do a lot, but I am very focused on a couple things, media being one of them, whether it be circles, we have a community manager there, whether it be, any service we offer dealers or solution where we seek to help, there's always a leader and there's always someone that is, spearheading that. So it keeps me insulated and I can focus on media, which is just the foundation of our business, and that's where my focus needs to be.
Well, and you do have a great team. I mean, Jay alone. Like, I probably talk to Jay that more than anybody else on your team. But the way that he acts is just an extension of you.
Yes, he does,
and knows you. Sometimes I feel like better than you know yourself.
Yes, Jay's amazing. Jay
He's
definitely
the best. Last time we spoke, you mentioned partnerships like CDG Recruiting and the relationship with Nomad Social. You had recently acquired them last time. How have those evolved over the past year?
Tremendously well. Nomad has grown 5.5x top line. So Nomad is.
I think we all know your Meta was trending in the vendor thing.
There you go. Right?
Social media,
social is just on fire. So Nomad really, has capitalized on an important trend and really helped dealers dominate in their local markets through social media marketing. It's all organic. It's all raw. It's not paid. Meaning for the dealers, they're not sponsoring these posts. These are organic posts that showcase their dealership experience and go viral. So that's been incredible. Recruiting has had its ups and downs, candidly, but now we're on a good path. We sort of did a little reorganization, and the team is strong.
Thanks to Authenticom for supporting the I'm a Car Chick podcast. Authenticom, control your data.
So recruiting has been very steady, I would say.
Yeah.
And now, and then the latest, of course, is our latest solutions is being Circles and Pulse. And Circles being our peer groups.
So fast.
Yeah, and Pulse being the insights gleaned from those peer groups. So overall, it's been an incredible year. It's crazy to think that we launched our live show, Daily Dealer Live, in April. It hasn't even been a year.
Mm-hmm. I know that's what I was saying is there's so much that's changed just since the last time we did this. And that was barely a year ago.
There's been a lot, and there's going to be a lot more. This year is going to be crazy from the platform side, as we're going to continue building upon Circles and adding more dealers into the platform. So there's a lot for us to do.
Yeah, it's exciting for sure. Speaking of the CDG brand and everything you guys are doing, how do you decide which extensions of the brand actually make sense versus becoming distractions?
Anything that we can win and be number one may make sense, right? So we avoid anything where we cannot be number one.
Yeah.
And like I said, the through line with our business is trust. So if trust can give us an unfair advantage in something in the marketplace, then we'll consider it, or we'll think about it, right? So think about what we do. Recruiting. You need to have a big audience. You need to have trust. People need to be open to tell you, I'm open for a new role. Circles, right? Peer groups. It's confidential information. Trust. Pulse. The insights gleaned. Trust.
Yeah.
So it's always, I would say actually the only anomaly to that in our business is Nomad. And the reason Nomad was such a good fit for us was just because Omar is just such an incredible operator.
Yeah.
So I just bet on him. But that aside, it's all about trust. And so if 100%. Trust is the foundation, the common thread, then it could make sense for us to explore the opportunity, because so many companies in our space and auto business just lack that.
Yeah. Many
people have distribution, many people have data, many people have that, but they don't have trust. And so without trust, you're not going to get authenticity. You won't get dealers sharing the truth.
I couldn't agree more. We all know that everybody wants to do business with people they know, like, and trust, and I think that you've done a really good job. And that may have even played into your anonymous piece of being someone trusted, because they had to trust that you knew your stuff, for sure.
They're open to sharing real insights.
In our last conversation, and this plays perfectly into this, you said creating value for dealers and listeners has to come first, with monetization second. As CDG continues to grow, how do you protect that philosophy?
Yeah, you have to be selective. You can't work with everyone. You obviously can't post everything.
Right.
You disappoint some people who expect something, but it is what it is. You got to say no. You have to say no in everything.
Yeah.
So we say no a lot. and it's not always fun, but you have to put the brand first.
Right.
If something is not going to push the brand forward, elevate it, help elevate dealers and vendors, it probably doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You know?
I get it. As AI and automation accelerate across the industry, what becomes more important, more data or better data?
I think better data. I think there's so much data out there at this point, right? The internet has been like scaled for, 15, 20 years, like really, in dealerships, probably less than 20 in dealerships. But the point is the internet has, been around. So I think the data's there, but we need better, cleaner data. And I think that's what a lot of people are focusing their efforts on, making sure that they can actually get insights. If you're a dealer, you have this database of customers from 10 years. Cool. What do you do with it now?
Yeah.
How do you reach the ones who are in the market right now and may want to buy again or may want to come see you again? So just definitely better data.
Yeah, for sure. Looking ahead, what do you think will separate the dealers who adapt well over the next few years from those who struggle?
It's going to sound a little trite, but I really do think those that lean into the new technology and AI, not just to touch the new shiny object, but really to see how it can impact their business, integrate it well and train it. Like what I've noticed with the best performing dealers is when they integrate something new to their dealership, they make some time investment in making sure that it fits them. You can just put something and say like, talk to my customers. You have to really invest in that training. And so I think you're going to see, I'm already seeing it. Dealers are, reducing their operating expenses or they're capturing more sales after hours. The impact is already there. So I think dealers that lean into that, own that, will win. Now, you may say that that's table stakes. And so the second thing I will say is also remembering that it's still a very emotional purchase. And those that are able to lean into the efficiencies, but stay grounded and offer that experience that I received from that Lexus dealership, right?
Yeah.
Remain local, remain human. I think that balance is just, going to be untouchable.
And I imagine hiring, training, staffing makes that so much harder because you are training the customer service skills on top of, the job and all that stuff whenever dealers are having turnover. It's one of those things that has to hold steady and make sure that you have the highest level of customer experience.
100%.
I want to do something fun that I didn't plan to do, but
Bring me a Rubik's Cube.
one of the things that I found about you in all of the research over the past year and a half that I've done on you is there's not a lot of information out there about you personally.
Interesting.
Like you as a person. I just learned like last week that you're only a year older than me.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. Like, I don't know why, because you seem so wise. I just assumed you were older. You're 32, right?
Yeah. About
That's
to be
insane.
33.
That's insane. Like, and again, I'm only a year younger than you, but like with all of that weight on your shoulders and all of this going on, like that's a lot at a young age. And I think a lot of people look over that sometimes. And I know that you kind of were raised into this, you grew up in a dealership and all of this stuff. How do you, and it's funny because women get this question all the time, but how do you handle work-life balance and making sure you're still husband and dad?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the way I do it is you have to think about, if you want to do anything great, you have to have a good team, you know? So I would say, I would brag that my wife is a good teammate, and the way we do it is we are just very supportive. Like no one is, if I'm working today 14 hours, then she's, holding the fort down in the household.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, I'll chip in when she needs. So I think you need to have a very good, and like any company that's built, there's a massive, massive foundation behind that, right? I'm here right now. I have my two in-laws at my house, right? They flew in to watch the kids with my wife. And like, there's a lot of logistics behind the scenes in order to build, my mother helps with like personal investment management and, my other sibling with that. And like what happens is when you build something like this so intensively and so quickly, everyone gets pulled into it. And so I think the truth is that you just need to have, my father-in-law, like doing stuff around my house, so you have to have a good team. Yeah. And that means that's in everything. It's in life.
Work team, home team.
You have to, because otherwise it's not possible. And my actual team, like in work, right? Like people are asking me, what's my schedule here? I don't know my schedule. Yeah. Because I trust my team that they're going to put it together, and they do. And Jay's handle that. So that's just my honest answer to you. There's no such thing to me as a
There's a
like
balance.
It just, you kind of do what needs to be done when it needs to be done if you want to do something great. If you don't want to do something great, in my opinion, and you want to be average, then, you can set very strict parameters, but you'll never do something incredible. And I don't want to be mediocre. I want to do something amazing.
Yeah.
So,
well, and you've got so many years ahead of you. Like, I was just absolutely shocked when I heard that, because you've already accomplished so much. And to some people, they're like, oh, he's in his 30s. Like, 30s isn't that young, but like, I'm right there with you. We've just entered the 30s, and it is a huge accomplishment. Even if you were in your 40s, 50s, it would be a huge accomplishment. But the fact that you've done this, built this before you even turned 30 is a huge accomplishment. And raising littles at home and married. And I know last time we had talked, I've actually been wondering about this so I've got 2 kids also.
Amazing.
Last time we talked, you had taken your daughter to see Moana 2, and she absolutely loved it. I took my kids.
It's been a year.
Yeah, I took my kids to go see Zootopia 2. Did you guys see that?
We didn't.
Was that not the greatest movie ever?
Zootopia?
Yeah, the second one. Oh,
no.
You didn't see Zootopia 2?
No.
Oh my gosh, I was hoping you would have taken your kiddo to see it.
No. It's been, so we just moved to Florida 2 months ago.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, we wanted to change, and it was, we have my wife is pregnant, so we have a 4th.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. So we were just like, where's going to be easier to raise kids? It's just easier, truthfully.
Well, honestly, the consistent weather alone is, for the most part.
For the most part,
yeah. What part of Florida? Like north, south?
South. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
oh man.
So yeah, that's been so.
You've had a lot going on. Another baby on the way. My goodness.
Yeah. It's been interesting.
There is no challenge you won't face.
I like it. It's fun.
I'm just staying busy while I can. I love this. Well, thank you so much for coming back on and being willing to talk to me and share all the good things you've got going on.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see what happens in the next year.
Thank you. It's always fun to be here.
You are scaling like crazy. So, guys, be sure to check out Car Dealership Guy everywhere. You'd be living under a rock to not be able to find
Dealershipguy.com.
Yes, cardealershipguy.com. And we'll see you next time I'm on the I'm a Car Chick podcast, if I knew the name of my own podcast.
Amazing. Amazing. Well done.
Sorry, I threw you a curveball there at the end.
Throwing the curveball? I don't know.
Okay. Good.